All right, once again, we have the grid glitch. I think this might be just a Bathurst thing because of how close together the cars are. Maybe? I don't know. But I can't run through the grid as I normally do, so we're going to do this by free cam. Which, apologies in advance if that causes anyone to have any vertigo. We're here for the Zero Racing weekend round at Bathurst. This is the 5th round of the 10 championship rounds. It is... You could argue this is the most challenging track. I believe it is the longest lap, although Suzuka, I believe, is in the same ballpark. Personally, I would say perhaps... personally, I have a rough time with Sonoma, so that's probably my most difficult track. But I know other people don't consider it in the same ballpark. I would say Laguna Seca may be in the running. But this is Bathurst. It's a fantastic track in Australia. If you've not raced here, please do. Just a little bit of background about us. Zero Racing races Wednesdays and Saturdays. We start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time with practice, and qualifying begins at 9:30. So if that sounds like a time where you would like to join us for a race, please do. The website is in the description below. You can message me on YouTube, or you can add Meodred, Meodread, on Steam. So with that out of the way, let's get to the grid. Front row, surprisingly enough, is all John Slow Racing. Martin Lauer is on pole in the blue and black car, and the blue and orange car is championship leader Ben Swarey. Joining them, well, not joining them, but on row 2, Wesley Stokes in the Crown Plaza sponsored white and blue car, and the white and black car is Dule Markovic. These represent, surprisingly enough, different teams despite the very similar liveries and sponsorship details. That is Team Shosha, and that is Zagato Piston. Then we have our... sometimes it does this where the free cam stops. So, my apologies on that as well. Row 3, Michael Schneider with his best qualifying effort of the season. He is the MMS Engineering McLaren 650S, and Team Shosha's Rick Martel alongside the most starts in Zero history is that man. Row 4, Stefan Gervais for John Slow Racing in the 3rd John Slow Racing car. And the top Golden Bolt qualifier, Mark Minahan. Then it's more Golden Bolt with the all Golden Bolt row of Dean Reimers and Mike Magasevic. Dean Reimers is the Academy Cup points leader for the weekend. Row 6, we have Alan Angel for Fallen Angel Racing and Gill Racing's James Gill in the BMW Z4. And at the back, it's Spalding RT's Mark Clapp Zule. Let's get underway. Top 10 score points, and race 2 is a reverse grid for the top 10. 13-car grid is the largest we've had for the weekend this season, and we're off, and a massive pile-up in the backfield as Clapp Zule, Reimers, and Angel get involved. Ben Swarey gets off to a better start than his teammate Martin Lauer and moves into lead. Lauer in 2nd, 3rd place for Wesley Stokes, 4th place for Markovic, Schneider, 6th is Martel, 7th Magasevic, 8th is Minahan, 9th is Gill, 10th Reimers, and then the crew that got messed up, Clapp Zule, Gervais, and Angel. Reimers was also caught up in that as well, but seems to have gotten away better. There's not a lot of passing opportunities at Bathurst, so you got to make the most of the ones you have. This uphill, twisty section really requires a mistake from the car in front of you or a significant delta of performance. Swarey still leading the way from Lauer and Stokes, and it's Markovic, Schneider, Martel, Magasevic, Minahan, Gill, Reimers, and Clapp Zule, then Gervais and Angel. Interestingly enough, not one of the cars on the grid today has ever won at Bathurst, so we will get a first ever winner here. Genghis Khan and Jason Mons won during the weekday, and prior winners include Matthew Wheeler and Jason Mons and Carl Raggio, who are all absent from today's race. In fact, Matt Wheeler's a dominant man here. He has 4 wins in the 8 runnings at Bathurst, or the 10 runnings, I suppose, now at this point. Swarey still holding the lead, but Lauer putting the pressure on. This is a battle of the 2 John Slow racers. Lauer's return has given John Slow Racing a huge boost, it has to be said. He makes the move down the inside. He did that to Mike Mark during the weekday race for 2nd place. Here, it's going to be taking the lead. So Martin Lauer out in front for John Slow Racing, followed by Ben Swarey and Wesley Stokes. Fourth place is now Rick Martel. Magasevic has also gone through. Markovic and Schneider have had a problem. Let's have a look at what happened there. They were running in 4th and 5th, and they are now down to 6th and 7th. So it looks like Markovic's problem came earlier on, and they were unrelated. Pulling back here to have a look at what happened. I think we found what happened to Markovic. He hits the wall, loses control. There goes Schneider, there goes Martel, Magasevic, Minahan all through. I think he manages to rejoin. He might have actually rejoined ahead of Minahan. In fact, he did. You can see James Gill in the background has made up a couple spots. So that puts Schneider in 4th, Martel 5th, Magasevic 6th, 7th for Markovic, 8th for Minahan, 9th is Gill. And I think that's Reimers bringing up the last points-paying position. So then what happened to Michael Schneider is... looks like he just gets the braking point wrong. No? Yes. Hops over the grass. Just loses his momentum. Through goes Martel. And through goes Magasevic. And looks like he's going to hold Markovic off. In the background, Reimers has overtaken James Gill, who appears to have had a problem. And that is for 9th place. At the front, it's still Lauer leading from Swarey and Stokes. They're in a close battle. And then Rick Martel is leading a fight that goes back from 4th place all the way to 10th place. It's Martel, Magasevic in 5th, 6th place for Markovic, 7th for Schneider, 8th for Minahan, 9th for Reimers, and 10th for Gill. Mark Klabzul, Stefan Gervais, and Alan Angel rounding off the field. Martin Lauer has lost the lead. So you'll have a look at what happened there. So he gets in a little deep on the turn, and yeah, that opens the door up for Swarey, who takes it. And Lauer does appear to manage to elbow his way to stay in front of Wesley Stokes. So a change for the lead again. Swarey out in front. Lauer and Stokes. Martel holding 4th. Magasevic is holding off Michael Schneider in a heck of a battle here for 5th place. Schneider, Minahan, Markovic, Reimers all in there. Looks like maybe Gill's dropped off the back of that a little bit. In 10th place. Heading downhill, Swarey still leads from Lauer. They seem to have created a bit of a break back to Wesley Stokes. Martel in 4th place. 5th place for Magasevic, still holding off, is now Minahan. So Minahan has somewhere along the line gotten past Markovic and Schneider, who are now squabbling over what is now 7th place. Have a look at how the Golden Bolt car managed to make its move. Looks like Markovic is going to get wide. Yep. So Markovic gets wide. And that lets Schneider and Minahan through. He had at some point gotten past Schneider. And then Mark Minahan goes on the attack, looking to get past Michael Schneider for 6th place. And get up with his Golden Bolt teammate, Mike Magasevic. This will be an 8-lap race, by the way. We're on lap 2. And, Schneider got off onto the grass. That's what happened to him. then Markovic goes on the attack against Schneider. Let's see if he got through. Dives down the inside. Can he make it happen? McLaren is somewhat grunt deficient. Not that the Z4 is particularly grunty, but it looks like he's going to have enough to do it. And in fact, he does. Excellent overtake by Dule Markovic. Oh, but he goes off! It's going to put Schneider through. It's going to put Reimers through. It's going to put Gill through. Here comes Klapzul and Gervais. It appears maybe a problem for Dule Markovic. He is stopped on the infield. Martin Lauer, in the meantime, has retaken the lead. Let's go have a look at how that happens. I have a feeling it may have been in the just at the end of the lap, as he has been really patenting that overtake. Oh, it appears to have been before. Looks like he got him in the sweeper. A little faster here. Gets on the brakes quite a bit later and makes the play happen. He's definitely been the man at entering this section of the track. He's been making a lot of overtakes that you wouldn't really think of happen there. Magasevic still holding on to 5th place, although it does say 6th place at the top of the screen. Against Mark Minahan, and then Schneider and Reimers. So the 3 Golden Bolts running very close together, as they were with Reimers, Magasevic, and Kahn on Wednesday. 9th place for Jim Gill. And 10th place for Mark Klapzul, ahead of Stefan Gervais. And seems we may have lost Alan Angel at some point. He didn't pop up there. Markovic is stuck on the grass there. May have had a problem. Minahan seeking a way past his teammate. And the current Academy Cup leader in the race, 2nd overall, trailing Dean Reimers. Meantime, the other Golden Bolt climbs all the way around the back of Michael Schneider, but to no avail. Whoa! Jim Gill has lost it. Just gets too much of the curb. We saw that on Wednesday with Mike Magasevic, actually. And that's terrible for him. That's going to knock him out of the points. Gervais and Klapzul are both through on him. Oh, there's Angel. He's still running. And Markovic is back up and running as well. Top 3 are stationary. Battle, I think, is on for 5th place, really. Mike Magasevic seems to be the cork in the bottle here. Minahan, Schneider, and Reimers all out-qualified him, so he has passed them during the race. And they appear like they have a little bit of a pace advantage. And Minahan goes around the outside and takes 5th place for now. Magasevic shading to the inside like he wants to take it, or maybe just a defensive line against Schneider, not sure which. Comes across the line in 6th place for now, heading into lap 4 of 8. This battle I don't feel is done yet. Gervais is reeling in Klapzul, Gill, Angel, and Markovic round off the group. Martin Lauer heading up the hill in the lead. Seems to have developed a bit of a comfortable lead over Swarey and over Stokes. Kind of on his own is Rick Martel in 4th place. Minahan is pulling away from this group as Magasevic is now the cork in the bottle to Schneider and Reimers. I think this battle for 6th, 7th, and 8th will continue for a bit.
Schneider was very strong in the Wednesday races, so we're looking for a similar result here. Pressure's on. Reimers getting a little contact with the wall. That'll knock him off the back of his train for a bit. Dule also having a hard fight for 9th place against Stefan Gervais, who won at Portimao, taking his first career win. He would love to add a second here at Bathurst, but I don't think it's in the cards for this particular race. Lauer coming across the line to complete lap 4, still in the lead. Swarey still 2nd and 3rd for Stokes. Martel 4th. 5th, Minahan. 6th, Magasevic, still holding off Schneider. And Dean Reimers in the shot there in 8th place. Dule under immense pressure in the battle for 9th with Stefan Gervais. Magasevic still in a hard battle here. Looks like Gervais in the background looking for a move on Dule. Trying to go down the inside into the uphill section. Might have it done, and he does! Stefan Gervais takes 9th place. For now, Dule coming back at him. I don't think there's really much of a move here, but Clapp is, he's aggressive. He's a man who makes every battle for position a war, and he may not be done with Stefan Gervais yet. Martin Lauer, pleased to make his return at Wednesday's race, and now back here again. He's had some health problems, and it's good to see him back on the grid. Leading the championship leader and teammate of his, Ben Swarey, and Wesley Stokes. The battle for 6th continues. Michael Schneider and Dean Reimers clearly faster than Mike Magasevic, but unable to find a way around him. This is also 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the Academy Trophy race today. By the way, a record 7 Academy cars on the grid today. It's very impressive. You also have Alan Angel, James Gill, Stefan Gervais, and Dule Markovic. For a way around here, Schneider. Little fade from Magasevic. They get some contact. Schneider ends up going wide. He spins it around too. Reimers is now going to try his luck. See where Schneider, Markovic is pulled off. Gervais promotes to 8th place, and Dule's also up a spot. Schneider down to 10th. Ahead of Gill and Angel. Markovic has parked the car. He'll be 13th. And we'll start last for race 2. Lauer still leads Swarey. Stokes, these have pretty much been the top 3 all right. Rick Martel in a comfortable 4th place ahead of Mark Beanahan, who's pretty comfortable as well. Mike Magasevic has now got a little breathing room in 6th. He's battling with the Academy Cup leader Dean Reimers, who's in 7th. Both men are from Golden Bolt Racing, who will own 5th, 6th, and 7th in this race. 8th place for Gervais. 9th place Klapzul, 10th place Schneider, 11th place Gill, and 12th place Angel. Martin Lauer coming towards the end of lap 6, still in the lead, looking for his first victory of the season. Gervais is now catching at a very quick rate Dean Reimers. Reimers has historically been a guy who takes a little bit out of the tires and fades late in races, so we'll see if Gervais can use that to his advantage. Schneider has gotten past Mark Klapzul at some point for 9th place. Martin Lauer heading up the hill on the second to last lap. Looks like Alan Angel is catching James Gill. How do you know how rattled Gill is after pretty much flipping the car earlier? Martin Lauer heading towards the beginning of the final lap while still leading. Ben Swarey, yeah, he's within earshot, can't make a mistake, but no real need to push particularly hard either, though. Through goes Swarey, and then Wesley Stokes in 3rd place, the top non-John Slow racing car. It's his Team Shosha teammate Rick Martel in 4th place. Minahan, Magasevic, Reimers, Gervais. Doesn't look particularly closer to Reimers this time around. Schneider in 6th, and then Klapzul rounding off the points-paying position. Magasevic being caught by Reimers and Gervais, but one would think Reimers may have more to worry about from Gervais than trying to go forwards. Martin Lauer heading into the home stretch with a fair lead over Ben Swarey and Wesley Stokes. Martin Lauer comes across the line to take his first victory of Season 4, followed home by Ben Swarey and Wesley Stokes. Rick Martel's probably going to take home 4th ahead of Mark Minahan.
Mike Magasevic has probably got 6th place racked up. He's got a decent gap. I would say the action is still on for 7th place, though, between Dean Reimers and Stefan Gervais. Although they caught up to Magasevic a fair bit there. Oh, Reimers loses control. It's going to open the door for Stefan Gervais. Not going to have enough, though, to take it. It's going to be 6th for Magasevic, 7th for Reimers, and 8th for Stefan Gervais. Could have been more for Michael Schneider. He comes home in 9th place. He will start on the front row for race 2, so look for perhaps a big performance there from the American driver and the MMS engineering crew. And the man who will take pole for race 2 is going to be this man here in the Red Bull liveried BMW, Mark Klapzool, the Flying Dutchman, master of the reverse race pole. And you know what? Never count him out when he gets to start near the front. Jim Gill and Alan Angel will also be on the grid, as well as the retired car of Dule Markovic. We'll find him. There he is. Parked in the pit lane after some problems. And we'll be right back, so join us then. It's race 2 time here from Bathurst, Mount Panorama. Let's do this. Let's walk down the grid and see what happens. Once again, we'll be doing this by free cam. On the front row, it is Spalding RT's Mark Klapzool with the MMS engineering car of Michael Schneider. Row 2 will be Stefan Gervais representing Johnslow Racing and Dean Reimers representing Golden Bolt. Row 3 will be all Golden Bolt, Mike Magasevic and Mark Minahan. Row 4, Rick Martel and Wesley Stokes, the two-team Shosha cars. Then it's Johnslow Racing Row 5, Ben Swarey and Martin Lauer. Jim Gill for Gill Racing is 11th, and 12th is Alan Angel for Fallen Angel Racing. And at the back, it will be Dule Markovic for Zagato Piston. He has to be very displeased with the first race result. And we're off a bit of a bad start there in the background from Rick Martel. Gets a little bogged down. Mark Klapzool gets a good start, but so does Michael Schneider. Klapzool is going to lead into the first corner, and it's going to be Schneider in second. Stefan Gervais is third place. Maybe second, actually. He's got a run on Schneider. Looking to get through. Magasevic and Reimers are also in a little bit of a spat over fourth place. See how this comes out. Klapzool is going to lead. And it is going to be Gervais second, Schneider third, Magasevic and Reimers both go wide. It's going to let a couple of cars through, including race 1 winner Martin Lauer. Wesley Stokes is also through. They've got Ben Swarey up on their tail. Martel, Markovic is coming through the grid nicely. Mark Minahan did not have a good start. Oh, and Dean Reimers has some problems. And collects his teammate and Alan Angel. And Jim Gill also having to hold up to make it through there. So Mark Klapzool, after all that chaos, leads from Stefan Gervais, Michael Schneider, Martin Lauer, Wesley Stokes, Mike Magasevic is 6th, 7th for Ben Swarey, 8th for Rick Martel, 9th for Dule Markovic, who's up from 13th on the grid, and 10th for Alan Angel. Jim Gill is 11th, 12th for Mark Minahan, and 13th for Dean Reimers. Mark Klapzool, making that car very wide. It's a talent he has. A prodigious defender leading the way from Gervais and company. Right now it's just Gervais really on his tail. Ooh, further back though, Martin Lauer. This has been the part of the track he has absolutely owned. And he's working on a pass on Michael Schneider heading into the fast section sweeper. And he's got it done. Schneider just does not have the grunt on the straightaway there to really defend effectively. It's been victimized a couple of times. Stefan Gervais and Mark Klapzool are both going to slide off the track. Oh, almost cutting off Martin Lauer as he rejoins. So that's going to put Martin Lauer in the lead ahead of Schneider. Wesley Stokes is up to third now, and Mark Klapzool drops to fourth. He's got Ben Swarey behind him in fifth place, who's dealt with Magasevic by the looks of it. Gervais is sixth. 7th is Martel. 8th is Magasevic, who's dropped a couple of spots. Looking to make a comeback here against Rick Martel. He gets along the inside, but not enough to really make a move. He's got Markovic in 9th, and Jim Gill is in the points, making his
his big return. We did make a big enough deal about that, in my opinion, earlier on. Wesley Stokes is looking to make a move on Michael Schneider for second place. Nothing doing as of yet. Swarey still holding off. Still being held off by Klabzul. Magasevic has a problem. What happened to him? He got planted on the wall. Looks like Markovic and him may have had it coming together. Markovic goes to the outside and his line just carries him right into Mike Magasevic. He gets bonked by James Gill for good measure. He appears to be kind of stuck. Reimers and hell, it's carnage. Reimers is spinning out of control. It's going to drop Magasevic right to the back, so another major turn of events. Martin Lauer is well ahead of Wesley Stokes. Still in striking distance, but I think Lauer's got the pace on the field once he gets to the front. Michael Schneider is in third place. He was in second, so let's have a look at how Stokes got past Schneider. We were kind of, at the time of this happening, enjoying or cringing at some carnage further back. So it looks like Schneider gets a little wide heading up the hill, and Wesley Stokes says, "Thank you very much. I will take that spot." Fourth place, Mark Klabzul still ahead of Ben Swarey and Stefan Gervais, who are fifth and sixth place. Seventh place is Martel. Eighth place is Markovic, who is seemingly has a problem, or maybe waiting for Mike Magasevic after having taken him out. There's the other possibility. See Alan and Hell and Dean Reimers recovering from spins back there as well, of the aftermath of the carnage that Markovic triggered with his contact with Magasevic. They were battling over 8th place. They're now going to drop back to the back of the pack in 12th and 13th. Stokes is a little closer than I thought, but Martin Lauer had the measure of everybody in qualifying, had the measure of everyone in race 1. I think now that he's at the front, I don't suspect anyone's going to be able to catch him and stop him from doing the double. Ben Swarey looking to make a move on the progenitor defender that is Mark Klabzul. A little contact in the side there. A hard shove there from Klabzul. Forces Swarey a bit wide. Stefan Gervais also in attendance. 6th place. Swarey looking to try and make a move. Nothing happening quite yet. A little bit of contact there, nothing too significant. Gervais may end up being able to attack Swarey off of this, to be honest. Swarey thinking about the inside on the uphill section. I don't think there was really anything on there. Martel now joining the back of this train. So it goes all the way back to 7th place. Minahan 8th, Reimers 9th, Gill 10th, rounding off the points. Gervais has gotten through on both Swarey and Mark Klabzul. So what happened in the battle for 4th place? Martel's also through. So let's have a look here. Let's get on board with Ben Swarey. Not sure what happened there. So Swarey gets off the corner better. And they both kind of go for the same part of tarmac.
It allows Gervais and Martel through, and Swarey will get past Mark Klabzul, but in the process allow 2 cars behind him pass him, so he loses a spot overall and drops back to 6th place. Magasevic and Markovic are back at it, now over 12th place as opposed to 8th place. Martin Lauer leading the way through on to lap 4 shortly. Wesley Stokes in second. Michael Schneider on the verge of his first ever 0 podium if he can hold on. He's got Stefan Gervais catching up to him a little bit, and then Rick Martel, Ben Swarey, who's probably the danger man, Mark Klabzul, and Mark Minahan, Dean Reimers, James Gill rounding off the points. Not much happening at the moment. Everyone pretty much on their own spots. I think Swarey might have a gander at Martel here eventually, though. The championship leader would like to at least punch his way into the top 5, I would think. And indeed, I think it's on here. Heading into the sweeper, it's going to be Swarey ahead, heading into the braking zone, and off the track though. Too late on the brakes. Rick Martel's going to have a chance to get back in front of him, and does. Swarey having a bit of a moment there, and, reunited with Mark Klabzul, who plows into the back of him. Not good, although, hey, the man who says that's just fine with me is Mark Minahan, who says, I feel like, 6th place, it's probably mine, right? Yeah, and he's through. Swarey back down to 7th with Klabzul 8th, Reimers and Gill riding off the points. And it looks like Mike Magasevic has had another unfortunate mishap. I wonder if this is a second coming together with Dule and Markovic. Looks like it may have been. Markovic later on the brakes and noses him around. It's going to put him at the back and promote Markovic to 12th. But might be brought before the race stewards for that one. Martin Lauer still leading here, looking to make it a double. He's got Wesley Stokes and Michael Schneider. Then it's Stefan Gervais, he's catching Schneider at a relatively reasonable clip. We'll see if he can maybe make a move or not. Rick Martel having a pretty lonely day in 5th place. And Mark Minahan has got Ben Swarey climbing all over the back of him in a battle for 6th and 7th place. A bit of a weird refractal rate on the run down the long straightaway. Pressure is on once again. Ben Swarey looking to squeeze Mark Minahan. Battle for 6th place. Swarey's going to have a move here into the sweeper against the hometown man. Makes it work, but does he get the brakes right this time? Yes, he does. Stefan Gervais went a little bit wide there, but still in the hunt, trying to get himself onto the podium. Another bit of a disaster for Golden Bolt Racing with their top driver, Mark Minahan, in 7th place, and Dean Reimers in 9th, and Mike Magasevic in 13th, and out of the points. Alan Angel had a moment there and is going to lose 11th place to Dule Markovic. He says thank you very much to the Guatemalan. Martin Lauer still in the lead. I think just honestly widening the gap to Wesley Stokes, if anything. Michael Schneider still on pace for his first podium. Seems to have opened up a little bit more of a gap on Stefan Gervais this lap. Rick Martel in 5th place. Swarey, who has broken the toe of Mark Minahan, and seems pretty comfortable in 6th place now. Jim Gill starting to fall under pressure from Dule Markovic. Gill getting a little bit rough on the brakes there. It's going to open up the door into the long straightaway. And Markovic just flies on past into 10th place. Again, maybe looking at steward penalization for his pair of accidents with this man, Mike Magasevic, who's down in 13th place. Ride with Michael Schneider a little bit for a moment here. Schneider on pace for his first career Zero Racing podium. Very new to the grid. Very much acquitting himself quite well through Portimao and Bathurst. And to be honest, you got to think what happens when he can get himself into one of the main teams as opposed to running the independent organization that is MMS Engineering. Rick Martel appears to now be in 4th place ahead of Ben Swarey. So something has happened to Stefan Gervais, who was running in a fairly comfortable 4th position and looked like he might even be able to challenge for a podium. But what has happened to him? This might be a mistake into the first turn. Very much so. He ends up way off the track. What happened here? Just absolutely loses the back end. Ends up spun off to the side, and that'll cost him 2 positions.
Mark Labzul also having a bit of a problem. Dean Reimers says thank you for the 8th place. And somewhere along the lines, we saw Dule Markovic take over 10th place from James Gill earlier in the lap. That is correct. Second to last lap for Martin Lauer. He's hoping to bring it home, a double victory, which we've seen this year already. Alessio De Bonis did it at RaceRoom Bridge. It's been the first time since the opening round we've seen a double win. And Martin Lauer, who had a couple of these last season, I believe he double win at Mid-Ohio and Sonoma, will be happy to bring it on home, making his successful return to physical fitness and making an impact. He had a very solid Wednesday, picking up a second in race 1, though struggles in race 2. Picked up a win here earlier and is now on cruise control for win number 2 at Bathurst. Wesley Stokes, second place. I'm sure he'll take that. He's ahead of Ben Swarey, the man he really has to worry about in the championship. He was third in race 1 and only one spot behind Swarey, so he'll eat a little bit back into the championship gap. And like we said, Michael Schneider would be a fantastic story for him to take his first career podium. Rick Martel can do Team Shosha and his teammate Wesley Stokes a lot of help if he can just keep Ben Swarey behind him in his battle for 4th place. And he would probably love it if Stefan Gervais can get back in the fight and put a little pressure on. Mark Minahan is running in 7th place. Not the run he was hoping for, being the hometown man. The Australians, of course, hollowed ground Bathurst is to the Australians, and to not have Matt Wheeler here I think was a big deal. Not to have Adam Dixon here is a big deal as well. Dean Reimers, another Australian, 8th place, second Golden Bolt car. Academy Cup leader on the overall standings, though not particularly highly placed today, as Michael Schneider and Stefan Gervais are ahead of him. Dule Markovic has made a nice recovery drive, although not a clean one, into 9th place. And James Gill, in his return, is looking to get his first point of the season in 10th place. Flipped the car in race 1, so to get back into it would be a big deal. Alan Angel has overtaken Mark Labzul at some point for 11th place, so these two are going to scrap it out to the end, and an unfortunate bystander is Mike Magasevic down in 13th place. On the final lap, through a section of the track that Martin Lauer has absolutely owned this weekend. He has made some beautiful passes through the 3rd sector. He is going to take home 2 wins, and you got to wonder, he missed 4 rounds. Can he be a championship contender? He was last season. Can he show the pace that is undeniable and work his way up the ranks? Wesley Stokes cruising in 2nd place. A valuable 2nd place for him. He'll be taking that home. He's followed by Michael Schneider, who will take his first career podium. Congratulations to Michael Schneider. Fantastic story. And the battle for 4th is going to go down to the line, I think. Rick Martel, still holding off his teammate's rival, Ben Swarey, the championship leader. And he's going to do it. Holding on to 4th place, good result for him, ahead of Ben Swarey. Stefan Gervais, it could have been more had he not had his problems, but he'll take a 6th place, I'm sure, ahead of Mark Minahan. 8th place is going to go to Dean Reimers, 3rd in the Academy Cup behind Schneider and Gervais. Not necessarily the result he was looking for, but he is ahead of Mike Magasevic, who is his main rival in the Academy Cup. I'm sure he'll take that. I believe Magasevic is taking home 0 points, as he is in 7th in the Academy Cup. Dule Markovic is 9th, and 10th is going to be James Gill. And Mark Labzul has gotten back past Alan Angel into 11th place. Bit of a rough ride from him from pole. Angel coming across the line in 12th. And
Speaking of rough rides, I don't think anyone had a rougher ride than this man, Mike Magasevic, who's going to come home in 13th place. So that is Bathurst for you. We're off to Chang International Speedway, the destination of speed next. Tune in for that. It's a simpler track, but one that offers its own challenge and its own charm. I think you'll agree with me when you see the action from there. So until then, I'm out. Enjoy.